All right, let's talk about a feeling I think pretty much everyone has had. It feels so modern, so digital, but it's actually tapping into something ancient. I'm talking, of course, about the anxiety of the unanswered message. You know the feeling, right? Come on, you've totally been there. You send that text to someone important, and then you just wait. It's this weird mix of hope and, let's be honest, a little bit of dread, all happening on that little screen in your hand. And then you see it, those three little blinking dots. Yes, they're typing back. You kind of hold your breath, you lean in a little closer to the screen, and poof, they're gone. The dots just vanish. And that little surge of excitement just curdles into this knot in your stomach. Like, wait, what just happened? Oh, but it can get worse, can it? Because then you get what might be the most brutal digital signal of them all, red. They've seen it, there's no doubt, but nothing. Just silence. And wow, that silence can feel so, so loud. So you have to ask yourself, why? Why does this tiny little thing, a few pixels on a screen, feel so monumental? I mean, it's just a text, so why does it feel so deeply personal? Let's figure out what's really going on beneath the surface. Well, the source material puts it in this really powerful way. It says that every text, every reply, or, every lack of a reply becomes like this tiny little vote, a constant referendum on your worth to that person. It's wild when you think about it, this nonstop judgment happening in our pockets all day long. Okay, so to really get a handle on this, there's this amazing analogy that just cuts right to the chase. See, here's the thing we have to understand. This is not just about communication. We're not just sending information back and forth, like, hey, what time's dinner? The real question we're asking, underneath it all, is, are you still there for me? Are we good? It's a deep, fundamental need for connection, and it's all playing out on our phones. And that brings us to this idea of a digital heartbeat. Think about it like that. A quick reply, or even just seeing that red receipt pop up, it's like a pulse. It's the proof of life for your connection. It tells you, yep, someone's here, we're still connected. So what happens when that heartbeat just stops? When the reply never comes? The source material uses this incredibly intense phrase, saying we feel emotionally cauterized. Wow. I mean, think about that. It's like the connection has been burned shut, suddenly and painfully. That silence isn't just empty space, it feels like a painful wound. But of course, we don't all react to this the same way, do we? How you respond to that digital silence often comes down to something much deeper, your attachment style. This is like your internal programming for relationships, and it was set way, way before anyone had ever heard of a smartphone. And this is where it gets really interesting, because you have these two totally opposite reactions to the exact same thing. On one hand, you've got someone who's anxiously attached. For them, a 3-minute delay feels like the world is ending, like they're being abandoned. But on the other hand, for someone who's more avoidant, that constant pressure to reply feels like they're being suffocated. It feels like a trap. So right there, that's the core conflict. This is what drives so much of the drama. It's a fundamental clash of fears. Okay, let's break it down for the anxiously attached person. For them, silence is the absolute enemy. It triggers that deep primal fear of being left behind. So that quick reply, that digital heartbeat we talked about, it's everything. It's not just a message, it's a reassurance. It's the proof that says, hey, you're safe, I'm here, we're okay. Now flip that coin. For the avoidant person, the danger is the complete opposite. It's not the silence they fear, it's the noise. The constant pinging triggers their fear of being smothered or controlled. And that exact same digital heartbeat that feels like a warm hug to an anxious person, to them, it can feel like a demand, like an obligation that's chipping away at their freedom. So where does that leave us? What does this all add up to? Well, the big idea here isn't that our phones are the problem. It's that our phones have become a brand new stage for our oldest, deepest fears to play out on. And this is really the key thing to get. Your smartphone, your messaging apps, those little read receipts, they didn't create these anxieties. They're not the source of the problem. They haven't invented some new kind of insecurity. No, what they've done, and this is the big aha moment, is they've just given our oldest fears a high-speed, high-frequency platform to perform on. I mean, the fear of being abandoned, the fear of being smothered, these are as old as people are. All texting does is give those fears a chance to pop up, dozens, maybe hundreds of times a day. Okay, so we've walked through the feeling, the whole digital heartbeat idea, and the psychology behind it all. So what's the one crucial thing you should really take away from this explainer? Well, here are the big points. First, that gut punch feeling you get, it's not just you being dramatic, it's a real psychological response. Second, hang on to that digital heartbeat idea. It's a powerful way to think about what a read receipt really means. Third, and this is the big one, your reaction to silence tells you a lot about what you deeply need. Is it reassurance or is it space? And finally, just knowing this is a game changer. It can help you turn that knee-jerk anxiety into real, useful self-awareness. And that really leaves us with one last thing to chew on. Maybe we spend a lot of time blaming our technology for all this. But what if our screens aren't really creating new problems at all? What if they're just a mirror? A really bright, high-definition mirror? Reflecting back at us the oldest, most complicated, and, yeah, most human parts of ourselves.